Hello and welcome to Seagulls Social, episode 14. I am, of course, your host, Maz, and I'm joined by my lovely co-hosts, Ben and Ryan. How are we doing, chaps? You all good?
Another frustrating night, Maz. Another frustrating night, mate.
What, tonight or last night?
Do you know what we should do, Ryan? Do you know what we should do, Ryan? We should just pre-record our intros from now on.
Yeah, we literally might as well.
It's the same. It's the same intro every time. Just like, disappointed, but what can you do?
We'll take the positives and move on.
But before we move into the football and the good stuff that everyone's here for, how's everyone's week been so far? Let's start with you, Ryan. How's things?
Oh my god. What day is it today? Tuesday? Thursday? That sums my week up. There you go. I don't even know.
Well, no, mate, don't act,
I don't remember.
Don't act humble, mate. You hit 12k today on Talk Seagulls.
Jeez!
So congrats!
Lovely
on that.
achievement.
Congrats on that.
Yeah,
no, really well done on that.
Thank you. No, I love hitting the milestone on Talk Seagulls because it only comes round once every year. So it's always nice when you actually gain over 20 followers a week. It's lovely. But no, appreciate everyone that follows me. Love it. Absolutely love it.
What you need to do is become a Man United fan and start a Man United page, and then you'll get millions.
What
we were saying last week off air with Chris is your 12k is the equivalent of maybe 100,000 as a Man United page because we've got such little fans.
That's the thing.
Very good.
That's the thing. Even 12k for a Brighton page is incredible. So really good stuff on that.
Thank you.
And Benjamin, how's your week been, mate?
Just a lot of working, a few late nights. Trying to edit as much as I can before I finish when this goes out.
Mate, look at this. We're just a team of hustlers.
Buzzing.
That's what we're about.
Buzzing, mate. Just got back. If you're watching on YouTube, just got back from the barbers. Done me nicely. Threaded my eyebrows for the first time because there was no one else in the barber shop. He was like, "I'll do everything." So,
That's sick. How was that experience?
So painful. I had no idea how painful it was.
Mate,
he said, did you think the nose, the Q-tips in the nose was bad? I was like, yeah. He's like, well, this is going to be even worse. I was like, shit. And it was agony. It was so bad. Luckily,
I've had them done and it's not good. Is it the threading?
Yeah. Yeah. He literally just gets a bit of string, just goes.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Hopefully it looks good. I don't know.
It looks really good, Ben. Yeah. We'll email you the rest later.
How was your week, though, Maz?
Oh, mate, it was good. It was very good. Thank you. Working. Like we all said, we're all hustlers. We've all been working. Actually, funny enough, for work. So for anyone who doesn't know that, I've banged on about it enough times. I'm very fortunate to work for Lad Bible, and I got to interview a Brighton player today for Sport Bible. So the lovely Benjamin White. Was the lucky recipient of my boring voice, and
he hates Leeds.
Yeah, that's what he said. The first thing,
the whole 40 minutes was just him saying how much he loves Brighton and hates Leeds. But no, that was really good fun, and I really enjoyed that. But funnily enough, on that, I didn't want I kept the secret from you guys and from everyone I know because I doubt I've told you this before, but was it last year, some point, early last year, I got the opportunity to try and interview Khalid. You know the singer Khalid?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, buzzing. So I was like, yeah, let's go. So I went along with the producer guy, got to this big sort of venue, and we met the management of Khalid and stuff like that. And there's about 15 minutes to go before I was meant to interview him. And they just turned around and go to the guy I work with. He's like, yeah, we don't want Maz to interview Khalid anymore. And he was like, why? And they were like, oh, because we want Cal Freezy to do it. And I was like, fucking that. I was like, Cal Freezy, you fucking bastard.
Cal's done you dirty.
I know, he absolutely done me dirty. And then they were my guy I work with, he's like, no, the whole point of it is to get someone who's not famous, blah, 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 blah. Maz should do it. And they were like, no, we're going to pull the plug unless Cal Freezy does it. So I was just like, okay, fair play. And I just I was, I'm not gonna lie to you, I was fuming. I didn't even speak to anyone as I left, and I just walked out and just went out.
I swear Cal Freezy done a whole YouTube video with Khalid as well. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think it must have been that night. Yeah.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, he done a proper YouTube video with him. Oh.
Yeah, mate. So there you go, little story time. But yeah, I mean, listen, don't let those failures define you. I'm not
I'd rather have you on the podcast than Cal Freezy, man. So.
Oh, thanks, mate. I mean, I don't believe you. I don't believe you, but thanks anyway. Right, enough waffling. Let's get into the game. So let's start off with them, boys. A lot of Brighton fans, including us, were buzzing with the starting 11 that Potter put out for Fulham. So let's start with you, Ryan. What were your thoughts on the starting 11? And obviously, were you as buzzing as everyone else?
Yeah, I was really happy. Like I saw the 5 or 6 changes we made, and I was like, "Oh yeah, feeling pretty confident." And obviously we took Ryan out, which was the biggest news. Byrne come out rightfully for Webster. Lamptey was back in. Lallana come in. So yeah, I was really happy. I think Maupay wasn't in. He was on the bench and he didn't even play in the end. Which maybe, looking in hindsight, maybe he should have come on and had a go. But yeah, no, I was really happy. Like I think Sanchez did really well. I think we've got to say that. It was nice to have a 6'6" goalkeeper in goal, and he can actually use his feet a little bit. I mean, it was. I thought it was class. Yeah, he made some good saves, and yeah, I was really happy with the lineup. But again, it was down to the toothless attack. I think it's the story of our season so far. We've sorted out the goalkeeper, and exactly.
Yeah.
Right. It's just. It's a frustrating one.
Same story, Same story.
Yeah, and the Welbeck chance makes me very, very upset to see it again. It's just
all I'm saying is, if I speak, in the words of Jose Mourinho, if I speak, I'll be in big trouble. So
Welbeck's biggest hater here.
No, but listen, with Welbeck, right? So obviously, at first,
are we doing this now? We're getting into the Welbeck criticism
let's get into the Welbeck.
Let's go. Sorry, Welbeck, if you're listening. Sorry, Danny. Right. Switch off now, Danny.
I doubt he's listening, but yeah, if you are, mate, listen up. So obviously, I was quite critical of him at the beginning. And I sort of started to warm to him, as when he scored a goal against Villa, and just like chatting to you boys, I was sort of okay. No, actually, fair play. He can bring something to the team. However, after last night, right, this is my opinion of Danny Welbeck. Now he just runs a lot and does the dirty work, which is good. But in my opinion, when he's up top on his own, he just doesn't work for me because you need an out. Right. If you're going to play one person up front. If you're going to play one striker up front, you need an out-and-out like finisher. So, I look at, let's say, Berbatov. He was very lazy. He didn't run, but he could finish. He could score goals. So I'd rather have a Berbatov-style kind of player who doesn't really run much, but puts it in the back of the net. Whereas, like Murray, for example. Whereas Danny Welbeck just runs a lot, does a lot of hard work, but he just doesn't take his chances when he needs to. So that's just my take on it. But Ben,
you make a good point. I think you're right about Welbeck. I think he needs to be playing in a 2 realistically.
Yeah.
Like we saw how good it worked against Aston Villa with Neil Maupay.
I
don't think it really works with having just like a centre attacking mid behind him. I completely agree. I still think he's a good enough striker to start for us, but yeah, he needs to be playing in a pair up front.
And Ryan, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. I think the trouble is with our duos up front is we don't actually score with them anyway. So, I mean, I think the thing is with Maupay is he's like, we know he's a good player, right? And he's obviously just very, very, very low on confidence. And we've said it the last 3 or 4 podcasts now. But I think if we had an informed Maupay and a Welbeck that would have finished last night's off, because I think Welbeck against Villa would have scored that. If that chance happened against Villa, he would have scored that because he was right up for it. But yeah, yesterday he just didn't seem to have the confidence in front of goal at all. And I think that's been the story of our season so far up front. It's so bleak and it's like we're not even going to punish anyone. And Trossard in particular, he disappointed me yesterday. I didn't think he was very good at all.
I'm so happy you brought him up because I was actually going to bring, literally one of my notes is to quote myself is Trossard needs time out of the team, has been poor. Now that's
he's been very poor.
Like I think for the past 3 or 4 games, he's done nothing. Like,
no.
What is he actually contributing to the team? But before we go into all of that, let's just quickly rewind it back and talk about Danny Welbeck's chance in the 27th minute. So let's start with you, Ryan. I personally thought it was great build-up play, like really well played. Lallana, Lamptey down the right, an incredible cross. And in my opinion, Danny Welbeck should be, at least getting a connection, at least, connect with the ball. So, yeah, what are your thoughts on, the build-up play and, of course, the chance itself?
Yeah, I thought the little move was nice. I think that's where Lamptey's best, isn't it? When he's taking someone on and he's using his pace in behind the fullbacks. And that's when Lamptey really, really stands out. And I think it's quite harsh on Lamptey because I saw people giving him a bit of a, saying he wasn't as good. But I think the thing is with him, he's set the bar so high now for himself because he's been so good. And people expect him to be taking on 4 or 5 players every single minute of the game, but that's realistically not going to happen. At the end of the day, the kid's a right back and he's 20 years old. So,
100%.
I thought he did really well for that. And it's just got to score it, really, haven't you? Any striker would tell you that. From the non-league, they would be saying you've got to bury that. So yeah,
Nah. 100%. I don't. Unfortunately, I don't think we can sort of defend him for that chance. To be
What
honest.
was our? Does anyone know what our XG was like? Was it more?
No,
than
I tried to look
games?
it up. I couldn't find it.
It would have been on that XG Twitter account, but
yeah, I looked it up, but it wasn't on there, so I don't know.
oh right.
Not sure.
it was
I
that
know we
bad
had
a game.
Might have been on
19
there now.
pressures. We had 19 pressures compared to their 7, I think it was. Which,
Right.
yeah, that's,
Mate,
that's
well,
goes
you know,
to show.
yeah, no, 100%.
Nothing.
I think first half it was. You could argue it was an even game. I think the first half.
Yeah, I think
And then
a
I
draw
thought-
was a fair result. I
But
think.
no, see,
personally.
I'm not sure. You know, I think second half we were the better team.
Yeah, we were definitely.
But it's just like, you know, what was it? Webster hit the bar. Or anyway, we'll go into it all now. So going into the second half, I thought, you know, much sort of better. We definitely won on top. So let's start with then Dunk's header. So that was so close, and I thought
Good
Dunky
chance.
was you know, really good in the air for that chance. I don't know if anyone else had any sort of thoughts about.
Well, we actually looked threatening in the air for once, didn't we? From attacks,
yeah.
Normally we're useless. Although, actually saying that, what the hell are we having two
I know
corners?
what you're gonna say.
Two people stepping over the corners for?
Yeah.
Obviously, it
what was
worked
that?
because we done well in corners. But what was that
all
about?
Yeah,
I guess it was just making the defence second guess a outswinger or an in-swinger. But like, whether that makes a difference, well, clearly it did because we had two good opportunities.
Yeah,
for
we
it.
actually had two.
So actually,
so.
I'll retract my bitchiness comment about that and actually say, no, that worked very well. So,
yeah.
Actually,
No,
I'm going to just say, when you say about Dunk, sorry, Maz, I thought Dunk played really well, but Webster played really well. Like, people will always get on Webster's back, so I'm just going to put it in early, and I thought Webster did really, like, because people don't really praise him, he's our first, like, go-to scapegoat now that we haven't got Stevens in there, we haven't got Gross in there, and we haven't got Ryan in there. I thought, well, who's going to get it? Oh, it's going to be Webster. So I thought, no, we need to give Webster the
if he didn't make
credit.
that
He was
mistake,
really good.
though, if he didn't make the mistake,
He slipped, didn't he? Yeah.
He didn't make it.
Yeah.
I don't know who got through. I think it was Caballero.
No,
luckily
for
Sanchez
the
was
one-on-one?
Loftus-Cheek, wasn't it? Yeah,
No,
Oh, it was
Loftus-Cheek.
Loftus-Cheek, was it?
Yeah,
Oh, right,
yeah.
yeah.
Big Ruben. But yeah, before we go on to that big chance, of course, we've got to talk about the disallowed goal as well in the 48th minute with Welbeck handball and then Lallana obviously, I think Lallana might have been offside as well. I could be wrong, but I think he would have been given offside
for the
regardless.
original ball in, and then because it hit Welbeck's hand, it was
Right.
It was given in a handball. But
Yeah,
if for example, if Lallana actually scored that and it hadn't hit his hands and hit his leg, Lallana would have been onside there.
But this is the thing.
Ball in.
I just felt like, don't get me wrong, it was actually you can't really blame Welbeck, but at the time, right,
No.
I was watching the game on Amazon and I was just screaming at the TV, going, "You absolute donkey! What are you doing?" Like, but then when I actually look back at it, it was one of those like
It's so unfortunate.
unavoidable. Yeah,
It's
it's
such
just
an
like,
unfortunate one.
That's why I don't get, like, the handball rule changes every single week, and then one minute they're saying, "Oh, well, I think it changed to where your hand's supposed to be in that moment," right? But where's Welbeck supposed to put his hand in that? I'm not, because I know it was going to get given off.
Down by his side, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was down by his
by his
side, and he's on the turn. So, like, I don't get how you can give
but
that.
I think the
really
argument is
harsh.
I think what VAR take into account there is that his touch was the reason why Lallana got that opportunity. So the ball
that's
hitting his
fair.
hand, it landed
Then
to
hit his
Lallana
leg.
for him.
I'm pretty sure that hit his hand and then hit his inside of his leg.
But
and
yeah,
then,
so Welbeck is still presented that
okay,
opportunity to Lallana.
Yeah, I
So
suppose.
I think that's
It was
why
definitely
It's
VAR.
harsh, though.
Yeah,
it's very
no,
harsh.
No, definitely. And yeah, like I said, I was very critical of Welbeck in the moment, but then I looked back and I was like, well, it was actually quite unavoidable, so a bit harsh to sort of blame it
watching
on him.
it live, I was like, one of you just fucking shoot, because they were both like,
Yeah, literally. Literally.
please.
I was like, why don't you just stick it in the back of the net? And then he finally did it. It was offside. Cheers.
It's a good finish, to be fair to Lallana.
Yeah, no, mate.
Even if it was offside or whatever it was.
And I know we've said this a million times before, but it's so, like, when he's in the team, we just look so much better, and it's just
he's class.
he's an incredible player. He's so sick.
He is.
Right. Next sort of subject to speak. So yeah, let's talk about that big chance from Ruben Loftus-Cheek. So it was a mistake from Webster, wasn't it? Who
he
slipped.
slipped.
Just got bodied pretty much. Yeah,
and then I was saying this to my work friends earlier. I was like, when I was sitting there watching a game, I was like, yeah, we're battering them, we're doing really, really well. And I was like, out of all the people that could potentially go and ruin this whole night, like watching it at the time, I was like, Ruben Loftus-Cheek's 1-on-1 with the keeper.
Mm.
He's gonna score. It's gonna be 1-0
I thought
Fulham.
he was, yeah.
Yeah, and then fair play to Sanchez. He dived quite early, but his long legs really, really helped him. So yeah, I mean, in my opinion, I think Loftus-Cheek should have done better, personally.
Yeah, he's got to score that.
Yeah, no, I agree.
When he was through, I was literally like, we fucked it here. We're losing this.
Yeah. Imagine that was Danny
bury
Welbeck. Imagine that was Danny Welbeck and he did the same for us. We'd be fuming.
Fulham fans have every right to be complaining about that because it's a goal that every day of the week. If that was Mitrovic through, I'd have been
afterwards
scared.
as well.
Yeah, I personally thought he shot himself a little bit just by like the fact that he sort of had people behind him coming at him. I thought he sort of got a bit sort of scared, and then hence why he's
overwhelmed by the fact he was 1-on-1 all of a sudden.
It was a good little battle between Loftus-Cheek and Bissouma, though. I thought they had a good little tussle in the first half in particular because it was quite a scrappy one. Not much happened, but in midfield a lot was going on, and it was quite in the air, a lot of headers and little kicks and stuff. So yeah, I think Bissouma and Loftus-Cheek had a good little scrap in there, but that was not
I haven't
much.
watched Fulham too much this year, but I was really surprised, and my friend told me that it's been like that the case for the past 5 games. But that Bobby Decordova Reed, whatever his name is, playing right wing back. I swear he's a striker.
Yeah,
he plays like right wing back for Fulham. It's mental. I was like, what the hell is he doing there? He buries him.
And to be fair to him, he actually done okay as well. To be fair, he was actually one of the better players.
Imagine us sticking Neil Maupay right wing back. I mean, I wouldn't put Parker knowing his track record, but
literally, no, that is mad. That is mad. And then what was it? What was the other thing I was going to say as well with the Loftus-Cheek chance was that's it. I was like, imagine Ryan was in goal for that chance. There's no way his legs would even reach the save. So
I thought the exact same. You know, with Cavallero strike from outside the box in the first half, and then
it's a good little tip.
Sanchez tipped it. I was like, there's no chance Ryan was ever going to reach that as well. Mate, I might have just been thinking that because we're dissing Maty Ryan.
I don't know if you noticed as well, the commentator for that save, he really downplayed it. He was like, box standard.
It's routine,
save.
Wasn't it? He said,
he's like,
routine.
I was like, no, that's actually a really good save. Like,
it was a good save.
I was going to say, like, Ryan would be getting chipped from there, so. No, enough.
We're not hating on Matty. He's had so much abuse recently. I feel
all joking aside.
Let's talk about that now whilst we're on the subject.
Let's do that.
People have been giving. We can give Maty Ryan stick. We can say he deserves to be dropped. That's fair enough, as he does. The stats prove it. But people getting personal on Twitter, actually like proper atting him and going for him. That is so uncalled for. And he was such a professional. Don't know if you boys saw Robert Sanchez Instagram post saying,
yes, I did see this.
Great game, so glad to get a clean sheet, played really well. Yeah, Maty Ryan commenting saying like bravo in Spanish and stuff like that.
I really respected that. Yeah, I really respected that. That shows, for me, that shows a lot of class and a lot of it just shows a bit of grace and decorum, as the guy from from Come Diamond would say. But no,
it sums Maty Ryan up that though, doesn't it? Really does.
Exactly.
Absolute legend off the pitch.
Yeah, no, exactly. And Ryan, you said it a lot of times. Like, he's been such a great servant to us, and that we've got so much respect for him, especially us three on the pod now. But like you said, Ben, it's like, why bring personal stuff into it when it's football? Like you said, we can lambast him for footballing reasons. That's not a problem because we're entitled to our opinion. But we would never bring his personal life into it because that's completely irrelevant. There's no need to do that. So
there's never any need for it. Like when people try and justify it as well, and they're like, but he's been, but it's okay, he's not been very good, and like you're completely entitled to say he's been rubbish, needs to be dropped, but. To actually attack him, in online hate is so sort of downplayed, isn't it? Because they sort of just say, "Oh, you can just turn your phone off and not look at it." But if you're Matty in that moment and you're refreshing your phone and you're getting all these all of this stuff coming in, you're just going to be thinking, "My God, I've been here for 3 years. I've played over 100 and whatever it is games. I've represented the club off the pitch, on the pitch, been an absolute hero, and this is what they're treating me like." I mean, if I was him, I'd be like. You can get out then. I'll just leave. That's what I'd do.
Yeah. Even more respect for him for commenting and being so professional on Robert Sanchez.
Definitely.
Just imagine going through all of that and then having the grace and decorum
Yeah, exactly. No, 100%.
Because other people have as much grace and decorum as a reversing dump truck.
Without any tyres on.
No, literally.
Oh, yeah, shit.
So no, but that brings us on really nicely, actually, Ryan. You mentioned the fact that, why should he not just get up and leave? Well, he has actually been linked with a move away in January. So, Ryan, as our resident transfer specialist.
Yeah, here we go. It's new January. Here we go again.
Yeah,
Save my name.
Yeah, so he's been linked with a 10 million move away, hasn't he, in January? And you actually sort of were quite vocal on what you think should happen. What do you think he should leave, or do you think he should stay and fight for his place in the team?
I mean, I think he should just go, because if I was him, like, he's a good goalkeeper. Don't get me wrong, and he's been a very good goalkeeper. But he's not a Graham Potter goalkeeper. So I think if I was just him, I'd be thinking,
28
I don't know how old he is. Yeah, 28. I'll be thinking, let's just go get some. I'll be thinking, let's get some regular game time. He doesn't want to sit on the bench for the rest of the season, regardless of how good or bad Sanchez will be for the rest of the year, or whether we bring in someone else in January. For me, I think if I'm Maty Ryan, I'm thinking, let's just get out. We've done well. We've had it here, but let's move on. Let's get our career, not come to a complete standstill, because the last thing for a goalkeeper is to, come to a standstill because if you're frozen out of the team, you're not going to get back in. That position is literally yours or it's not. Mm. And from a club point of view, on a business perspective, if we are getting 7 to 10 million, which was quoted in that article, I think it's great business personally. And I saw, we signed him for 5 million 3 years ago. If we make a profit on that and he's got worse, then, that's good business. And a lot of the reason I put a video, I don't know if you guys saw it, but I put a video on my Talk Seagulls because the comments on my Instagram were slating the club and saying this is a stupid decision. And I was thinking, but is it though? Like, is it? Because people are saying that he's been this, almost like he's some sort of saviour we're never going to come across again. But, let's think about it. He hasn't been that good for the last probably year and a half, I would say. And it's not hard to replace him, really. And when we see Sanchez's performance yesterday, and it gives you so much more confidence with someone who looks a lot more like he should be in goal rather than in midfield.
He actually filmed Sanchez filmed me with a lot of confidence. I was saying to you, Ben, earlier off air, like every time he just grabbed, just the ball came to him, he just looked like he filmed me with.
He looked so fierce. I don't know if you've ever seen Game of Thrones. The Ice King. He looked like that proper serious character. Has a massive presence.
You've lost me on that one.
No idea, mate. Sorry.
I'll get you back on track. That's the
wrong crowd, Ben. That's the wrong.
One last negative about Maty Ryan, and for all the people that are saying that he should still be a keeper. So I saw this tweet from Chris, our guest last week. It says, I really don't like beating up goalkeepers, but Matt Ryan is only facing 3.2 shots per 90 minutes. Ramsdale, Darlow, Areola, Pope all face well over 5 for context. And Maty Ryan only has a save percentage of 45%. So he's only saving 45% of 3.2 shots on target per 90, which is justified to be able to get him out of the squad.
My only thing, so on all the points you mentioned, Ryan, I definitely agree with, to a certain extent. So financially, definitely, I agree. If we can double our money, great. And also the other, 100%. And the other point that you made of the fact that, he doesn't want to play second fiddle. Again, that makes complete sense. My only thing is from me being a fan and in terms of having the quality within the squad, I would like to keep him till at least past January, just simply because I feel like, let's say Sanchez does get injured or something might happen, then we're going to be left with Steele and, a youth goalkeeper. So my only thing is
Christian Walton as well.
Yeah, true. But I just feel like with his experience, and again, I know he's going through a bit of a drought, and I say drought, a bit of bad form. Sorry,
I still drought, but we know what you mean.
yeah, because he's not a striker. So no, it's one of those things where I just feel like at least keep him until the summer transfer window. Again, we might not get as much money. I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's
but
the thing.
I feel like we'll have more time to replace him, so we can actually sit down, look at what options we've got, etc., etc. I just feel like
I don't think we do need to replace him. I really don't. I think Sanchez is good enough, and I think Christian Walton is good enough for number 2.
So I'm going to throw this one in here because you say it's about time. Now, I received this message on the 28th of July, 2020, and it was a guy. This is before anything was in the news, and I couldn't say anything about this, and hopefully no one from the club's watching it. But it says, looking for a new goalkeeper, apparently. And I just said, is that right? I said, it's a bit strange because obviously everyone at that point was thinking, no way. And he said, Maty Ryan might be off. Heard it here a lot. People that are working with me are saying it, and they have a lot of contacts. So that's been something that's been bubbling since July. Now, I remember back in about August, September, we got linked with that, what's his name? Shakir?
Oh, the Turkish.
Not sure. Turkish.
Yeah,
The Turkish goalkeeper. Yeah.
We got linked with him, didn't we? And then Maty Ryan apparently didn't have a clue about this whole situation. I heard that it was a complete alien news to him. He had no idea about this. But I think if I've got a message in July about it and now he's starting to be dropped 3 or 4 months later, it's a bit of a funny coincidence, I think, because it's obviously something that the club have been looking at. And I think Graham Potter knows that Maty Ryan isn't the goalkeeper for him in the way he wants to play. He knows that his distribution...
He said that Sanchez is a much more Potter goalkeeper than Maty
exactly.
Ryan.
So whether we keep Sanchez or whether we go and get another goalkeeper in January, I don't know. But it's obviously something that's been considered since at least July, according to this guy that messaged me on Twitter a while ago. Yeah. But I don't know. I'm just going off what he says.
If it's a case of Ryan not wanting to be there, fair. Like get rid. Like, in terms of like, if he doesn't want to be at the club with regards to first team opportunities, I think the best thing is for both parties is to let him go. But I feel like if he's willing to stay and fight for his place until the end of the season, I personally don't see any. For me, I would like to see him stay until the end of the season. But I'm not saying that he should be our number one goalkeeper. I still think we need a replacement. But I'm not too sure that Sanchez is the answer. To be perfectly honest with you, I know he's been good. I know he's had his moments, but I still feel like I was saying to you, Ben, earlier. I feel like his distribution is not good enough. Like even though I know we blast Ryan, we blast Ryan a lot for his distribution, but you look a couple of times in the game last night, he just lumped out forward with no
he did do
like
that
position. Yeah, like
at least didn't go off the pitch though.
No. Like, look, don't get me wrong. I think for now, I'm Team Sanchez, and I think he's a good goalkeeper and he can do a job. I just feel like long term, he's not the answer. Just for me personally, and Ryan's not the answer either. So I think we need a new goalkeeper. But for me personally, I think we wait till the summer. You have enough time to find someone properly, and then go for it. Then that's just my take on it.
One thing about Sanchez. So my friend messaged me on Sunday, the day we were playing Leicester. The day Maty Ryan conceded 3 goals. She was like, "Oh, one of the Brighton keepers is in my pub in Brighton." I was like, "Oh, no way!" Thinking, "Oh God, who could it be? It must be Jason Steele." Because actually, no, it wouldn't have been because I think he was on the bench, wouldn't he? So I showed her all these pictures, and she was like, "Yeah, it's that one." She pointed at Robert Sanchez. So I was like, "So whilst Maty Ryan was conceding 3, Sanchez was back in Brighton sinking a Moretti specifically," she said, which is great taste. You can't.
Goes to show he's been watching the podcast, doesn't it?
Yeah, sponsored by Brian Moretti. But yeah, he's having a beer with his meal. He's obviously allowed to do that, but it's just mad that Maty Ryan's up there, and then the keeper that actually had a decent game against Fulham was back at home.
Don't get me wrong. Obviously, he can have a drink, whatever. Like, I'm not saying don't have 100%. Fun or whatever, but it does. I don't know. For me, hearing that is a little bit. I'm like, come on, man. Like, at least.
Do you think?
I don't know.
Yeah,
it's
I
a tough
don't mind
one.
it, to be fair, because I think he's not in the team, is it? It's not his responsibility because we've got Steele in there and we've got. Right, and that's their responsibility. He can do whatever he wants on the weekend.
Yeah.
If it's...
he was considered a fringe player at that point, I suppose, wasn't he?
Yeah, so...
And also as well, like, if it's just one drink, I'm thinking more if he's gone out boozing, if he's gone out, like, on a night
Shane Duffy
out.
And Lewis Dunk every single year.
Yeah. I feel like
Dale Stevens,
if you're out boozing with that kind of thing, I just feel like it's a bit. But yeah, if he's just having one beer, like, let him have it. Like, who cares? And talking to Sanchez, let's talk about his. So going back to the game then against Fulham, he made a really key save against Ademola Lookman as well towards the. I think it was the 82nd minute.
Yeah, it's a great save that.
Great save down to his left. So again, he made some really, really sort of crucial saves last night. So yeah, to summarize,
Dunk's reaction just said it all. Really,
it's
like slapping him, going, "Yes, Sanchez."
I'll tell you what though, it's a bit of an overlooked one, but his second save, the first one was a great one, but the second one where he dived in at his feet was a very underrated save because it's not easy to do that. I wouldn't fancy, especially going into a Premier League studs I just wouldn't offend. But no,
Yeah,
I think I saw
no
someone's tweet
Safe.
saying that I've never seen. Maybe I think this is another tweet against Maty Ryan, but I think I saw someone tweet. I've never seen Maty Ryan charge at someone like that, like put his body on the line like that.
No, I disagree.
you might be right. It's because he can be chipped though. That's the trouble.
He has.
Do you reckon-
100%.
and I'm sure he has, but I can't think of an occasion. Maybe it's just
Neither
because he's in
can
the
I.
spotlight.
No.
Yeah,
to be fair,
it's probably that.
I think he's quite brave. He's a brave keeper.
Yeah, no,
he's got
yeah,
he's got
he's
he's got
brave.
his negatives, but he's definitely not like. Yeah, I don't think he shies away. And then
It wasn't my
final
tweet.
thing.
It wasn't my tweet.
And then final thing from me, just like with regards to the sort of overview of the game, me personally, I was quite disappointed. Just one aspect from Potter, not the way he set up, not the personnel. My only sort of slight criticism and a bit of frustration, really, I just didn't understand with us looking really good, really on top, but not being able to penetrate and score a goal. I was just really disappointed that he didn't bring the subs on earlier than he did. So I think he made his
Or
first
the right
sub.
substitutions, really.
Well, yeah, you could argue that as well. So, what was it? The first subs he didn't make. So I've written it down here. He made a sub before the 79th minute, whilst Fulham made 3 by the 77th minute. So he didn't make his first until Fulham made all 3 of theirs.
Nice.
So me personally, I just felt like, why? Like, when you're on top of the game, you need a goal. I personally thought, take out Welbeck, take out Trossard, because Trossard was he didn't offer anything. Take him out, take Welbeck out, and Lallana just to keep him, bubble wrapped, and then bring on, let's say, Maupay, Connolly, and Gross.
I feel like that would have been a good game for them. At least Aaron or Maupay. I thought either of them would have been good.
And just run at them. And you got Maupay who can't. Like, for me, he is the number one striker. I don't care how it's good that we've left him out. It's good. He's low on confidence. I get it. And it's good that we've done what we've done. But he is. Let's be frank. He is the best striker we've got at the club. Like, in terms of finishing,
100%.
all round play, etc. So just bring him on. And he could get a goal. You never know. I was left very frustrated.
I think when you're mentioning the wrong subs, I guess you're talking about Veltman for Lamptey.
I guess that was probably just making sure
that was
for
Mitrovic as well. I think Mitrovic was the reason for that, because Mitrovic would just come on and probably elbow Lamptey and send him flying.
Because I think Lamptey just missed the Leicester game, hadn't he? So maybe he just didn't want to.
That's why
that was a right substitution.
No, definitely that one I'm not arguing. Like,
Jahanbash didn't do much when he came on.
I wasn't confident when he came on.
But again, though, I just feel like, how can he make an impact? And it goes for the other, for Pascal Gross. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know if you guys remember it, but when he came on, did you see him try across the ball and he whacked out for a goal kick?
Oh yeah,
that
wasn't very good.
I literally sat there and I was like, why? Like, why?
Right.
Why have you done that? But no, I just feel like, apart from the Veltman Lamptey swap, I feel like the other two he could have brought on maybe Connolly and Maupay a bit more.
Yeah.
Just run at the Fulham defence, just run them ragged, because what have we got to lose? Like Ryan always says, what have we got to lose? Like, it's just
and I think as I mentioned Trossard earlier, I don't know what's going on with Trossard, because he looks half the player he was when we signed him. I remember back when we first signed him, he was like, we were like, oh my God, we found ourselves like a Messi regen here. He's unbelievable. His first touch is amazing. He can shoot from anywhere. He can take anyone on. He had so much pace. And
even against Man United at the beginning of the season, you thought that was the level that we've seen him at.
True. And then he got injured, and then he didn't come back the same. And then this season, I mean, he had a few sub appearances, did all right, but he's never really hit the height that he had at the beginning of that first season, I think. And I think this season he's come back. He's beefed up a lot. He was quite skinny, wasn't he, last year? Now he's like quite a big guy. He's obviously been in the gym a lot. He's bulking himself up, I guess, for the physicality of the Prem. But my thinking of this, I might be thinking way too deeply here, but I remember Craig McHale-Smith saying, I think it was on my live actually, about him getting himself too big because he was like in the gym more because he was injured. So he got himself, he said, too big, so he lost his pace and his like low centre of gravity. And I get that, because he's a quick little player, isn't he, Craig? And I think that's what Leandro Trossard is also. He's a little quick player, he's nimble, he's agile, and I think maybe, do you reckon he's lost it a bit because he's bulkier? I don't know.
I mean, it's a very valid point.
It
but
seems
I feel
it seems like with his step overs, he just doesn't. He can't make them now. He's too big to sort of do it. I don't know.
I think there's, for me personally, the way I look at Trossard is a couple of things. I feel like, one, he's low on confidence, for whatever reason. But I think one potential thing could be actually, this is a question to you boys. Actually, do you think that he is like being played out in his. So I don't know what his
I was just about to
perfect
say this.
position. Yeah, what is his perfect position? Like what I don't know
I
what
prefer
he
him at
wants.
Cam.
But this is the thing. So like maybe he does that as well, and maybe he's feeling like he's not in his position to affect the game.
Yeah.
Maybe
Was he playing
I
out
think,
wide? Was he on the left yesterday?
Yeah,
Oh mate,
we
he was all
signed
over the
him,
place. To be fair,
he was left winger, wasn't he, at the beginning when we first got him? We were always playing him on the left, and then we started
West
playing
Ham,
him
he played centre attacking mid, and that was when he scored 2 goals.
Yes,
one of them was
that's
offside.
it.
Yeah,
And then when he went in the middle, because that's where he captained for Genk, wasn't it? He was a captain in attacking midfield, which is quite a bizarre one, really, but fair play to him. So yeah, I think that's his position. But then we're so heavily contesting it. We've got Lallana, Gross, Alexis as well. That's the thing. There's so many good players.
I think I think that could be a key factor as to why maybe he's not playing as well as he is. Maybe as well as we know he can. So I mean, with him, it's a very frustrating because we know how good he is. He's just not. He's just been very poor in my opinion.
Trouble, as I said, with him, like when he has a good game, he is definitely one of our best players. But when he doesn't, like he doesn't have an in between. Like some players can offer an average performance. He's either completely invisible and useless, or he's absolutely brilliant. And it's literally
100%.
he doesn't have an okay. He's just terrible, or he's great. That's it. And
That's
it's really,
spot on.
really
That's
frustrating.
literally spot on. Like he's just such a frustrating player when he's not on it. It's just so frustrating. But
also, I spoke to my friends about him last season, and we kind of agreed that I think we agreed that he's better off the bench than actually starting.
Yeah, I think
his
you're right.
impact off the bench is a lot better than when he actually starts because he's
Maybe
got so much
Luar.
creativity in him. Yeah, like Luar,
yeah.
Remember against Norwich last season, he came on, literally changed the game, got an assist and got a goal, and then we won 2-0.
Yeah, that's true. And against Everton as well, he did something
Start
similar.
well, mate. I'm petitioning him to start on the bench because he's been.
Yeah,
he's not
then-
been on
I'm
it.
sure he doesn't want to do that.
He
but
wouldn't
that's
be
the best
happy
thing
with
to
that.
say.
No chance. No way.
No.
If you tell someone
Well-
they're an impact
mate,
sub, they'll be looking to hand in a
Well,
transfer request.
Play better, mate. Play better. How about that, Trossard?
Yeah,
play
true.
better, mate.
Just
And also,
actually,
as
his
well,
body. Go on.
go on, Ryan.
I was going to say his body language. That's
Yeah.
my trouble. He just looks like he's not interested. When he's not having a
Literally.
good game, it seems to just stroll around with his shoulders down.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah. Even
come on,
even
Leo,
even even last night when he got dragged, do you see he was like sort of sulking and was like
he
trudging
gets
off the
quite
pitch?
stroppy.
And I was just
Yeah.
like, come on, mate, like just give over and just
It's
play
frustrating.
better. But the thing is, if he'd played well or whatever, and you boys mentioned sort of the impact sub. Look at Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, mate. He made a career out of coming off the bench. So,
Yeah, true.
and
True.
hopefully Trossard doesn't become a manager because if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has anything to go by, it won't end well for you, mate. So yeah, right. Anyway, so just to summarise then, so sort of the whole game then in Fulham. So for me, I'll start off. I'll kick it off. Frustrating again. I think that's the sort of the theme of the last 6
Season.
weeks. Yeah, the season.
Toothless attack.
Yeah, toothless attack.
Good midfield and defence.
Yeah, literally. So yeah, just to summarise, I thought we played well. Second half, definitely the better team. But again, we just need a striker. Get me someone who literally
Where's
stands up
Zakiri?
top.
Where is he? What's he doing?
What I said
Where
that
is
was
he?
he's expecting to play him soon, isn't he? Of the next few.
please
few
just
games,
play.
so
I've heard that every week, Ben. When is it going to
Yeah.
happen, mate?
that was literally 2 days ago, mate. So
I don't understand,
genuinely, someone
right.
said. So I saw an article saying that he's going to be playing soon.
I hope
He's
so.
gonna give him a go.
I just don't understand. Like, if he's not in the team, why is he not in the under-23s or something? Because if he's training with the first team and then not even getting on the bench, I get the whole like settling in thing and the Lamptey thing and the Alexis thing. They're doing the same thing, but we need a goal. I don't care who
That
gets
is
it.
true.
We need
That
someone
is
to
weird.
score a
That
goal.
is weird that he's not playing under 23s.
Yeah, I thought they were
Same
at least
with,
putting him in there.
I can't remember if it was you guys I spoke to or someone else. Jose Izquierdo came back under 23s,
Oh, yeah.
looking like he's
I know
going to
he's
come
gone
back
now.
into the team.
Oh,
just
yeah,
off the
no,
face of the earth
This
again.
is what I don't understand. It's
But he
happened to
broke
so
his
many.
knee in half again.
But it's happened to
please,
so many players, though. It's happened to so many players that, like how Sanchez came to the team, then just disappeared, came back into the team
Alzate.
now. Yeah, Alzate. Like it's just.
I'm glad he's back.
McAllister, another
McAllister,
one?
yeah. He
Like,
had
it's just
COVID
like-
though, didn't he? Apparently.
Oh, did he? Oh, okay. But yeah, I mean,
He's had
people
an
people
injury.
just going
But
missing.
I'm glad Alzate's back. Do we think
Oh
he had a
yeah,
good
I
game?
liked Alzate. Yeah, he's solid,
Yeah.
isn't he? He does the Dale
Yeah.
Stevens role really well.
Yeah.
He goes very under the radar. I
I
think
like him
I'll
and
be-
Basuma
I'll be- yeah.
together.
I'll be honest with you. I didn't notice him last night. I'll be honest with you. Like I didn't
that's it.
like he didn't drop a clanger, but he didn't like. I didn't see enough for him to impress me, if that makes sense.
I think
like
that's
Ryan
what
said, he
Michael
went very
Carrick-
under the radar.
Yeah.
Michael Carrick's
That's the thing. Yeah, exactly. Like the centre midfielder that makes the passes, and if you didn't notice him, then he's had a good game, basically.
Yeah. No, exactly. So we can't knock him, and it's good to see him back in the side as well.
Yeah.
And then so let's talk about then some other sort of talking points then. So one is Percy Tau is linked with a return. Now, what do we think, chaps? Do we think he's going to...
Young Lion is back.
Do you think he's going to improve?
He's not back. He hasn't even come. He's never actually been in.
Yeah. Do we reckon he's going to solve our scoring drought or not?
Yeah, of course he will. Of course he will.
Let's just put it away. Let's just put it this way: us three have probably been to the training ground more times than he has.
Yeah, it's true.
Literally, yeah. All right. So in some,
I'd love to think that he's going to turn up and do bits, but
yeah,
you can't.
Get all the South Africans on
see
Twitter
it.
as well, just like how we got the Iranians on Instagram.
Yeah, no, we've got gained like 100,000 more followers on Instagram.
Yes, I remember that.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I'm not holding out much hope. And for me, correct me if I'm wrong. He's not an out and out striker. He's more of a sort of a left winger.
He's like a winger,
centre forward winger guy.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not holding much thought. But I mean, who knows? Weirder things have happened. So.
As I said, we've got nothing to lose. Just bring everyone back.
Danny Welbeck and Percy Tau could be the Demba Ba and Papa Cisse combination that we've been after.
Oh, that'd do.
So imagine
African brilliance.
Yeah,
brilliant.
And then the final thing as well. We mentioned it earlier, but Sanchez apparently. So now I'm going to contest this because I know Ryan, you and Naylor sort of were in cohorts about this. But like, I think Naylor reported it about him starting on Sunday.
Graham Potter confirming it.
Yeah, Graham Potter confirming it. However, I actually read the transcription from the interview, and he doesn't once mention that he's definitely starting.
That about that too. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
it must have been an off-air question. But why would you ask that off-air?
Maybe
he said he confirmed to the Athletic though. He didn't say he confirmed because he said on the thing that it wasn't to Amazon Prime, but he quoted the Amazon Prime quote. So whether he just told Andy individually, maybe we'll never know. But
hopefully,
I mean, we've got a back Andy, haven't we? He's normally the man in the know.
No, of course,
very credible guy. So
I
assume.
No, but I was saying that 99%, regardless of what Potter said and what he hasn't, you can't really drop someone who's had a clean sheet
exactly
and played so well. So I mean, regardless of what Potter said or
man of the match, let us add. I think that might have been a fan vote. That was probably a fan vote, so maybe it doesn't count too much.
Yeah. But still, the fact that he done really well. I think Potter's surely he's got to say, look, we got to keep Sanchez in because I think it'll be uproar and rightly so if that is the case. But no, I think we can all agree that he should and will be starting Sunday. We'll have to wait and see, I suppose, until Potter releases his mystery box of players and his formation. So
one question, it's really poor for me to ask this, but I wasn't as prepared as I normally am for Brighton games yesterday. Was Ryan on the bench or was he dropped completely?
No, he wasn't. He was dropped completely. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Interesting developments.
Maybe he was at the pub in Brighton this time instead, drinking the Marie's.
He was having a Marie at the pub.
Ben, you would not believe it. The other keeper's here today.
Also,
happy on Sunday, mate.
A little random one before we get on to the Sheffield United preview, just a little random one. So, as I mentioned, I interviewed Ben White earlier, and he said that apparently, I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but yeah, he actually mentioned
Chris Hamill and Ben White in 1 week. You are living
I know.
Absolute
I can't believe
it. Sorry, Baz. I've interrupted you 3 times here.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I love the banter. That's what I'm here for.
Anyway, onto the Sheffield United preview.
Santa's got a start, I reckon.
He mentioned that the Brighton squad, they actually don't all share the same changing room. So they're actually split into 2 changing rooms because of COVID.
Hey?
So Ben White is with Aaron. Yeah, so at training.
Lancing, wasn't it?
Well, Lancing, yeah. And so in the changing room, they're split into 2 groups. And Ben White said that he was with he's with Aaron Connolly and the young boys at Malumbi, Connolly. So they basically like all the young lads have a bit of fun or whatever, and then like all the sort of senior pros are all like in one change room. It's mental.
What?
Yeah, mad.
I don't get that because they're all in the same bubble, COVID COVID bubble,
Yeah,
aren't they?
mate,
Surely.
Yeah,
honestly, that's
they're all
he
tested as well. What's the point?
He genuinely told me today. I don't know why. And
don't get
to be
that.
fair, I was going to dig a bit deep into it, but basically the nature of the interview wasn't Brighton based, so I couldn't like dig into it too much. But
Seagulls Social exclusive.
yeah. I was going to be
Yeah,
like,
that's
so
that's interesting.
run a pod. But yeah, no, I thought it was really fascinating. I was like, that's really like
Some of the rules
really
I just do not. I don't get it.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
no,
weird.
I just,
Weird, aren't
it
they?
just
So weird.
absolutely baffles me, and I can't even bother to talk about it anymore. It's like daily
Oh.
conversations, isn't it? COVID.
Oh, and then actually, no, I can't. I don't want to get sacked. So I'll tell you off there.
No, go on.
I'll tell you off there. No, I'll tell you off there. I can't. Right.
He doesn't
so
work for
let's-
Lad Bible anymore.
yeah, I value my job more than this pod. I'm sorry, boys. So yeah, let's talk about Sheffield United then. So big game, and I know I was quoted last pod to say that if we don't beat Sheffield United, relegate us, which is quite a big statement. But
You said that as well.
I did. So I stand by it. And I think it's a huge game. So let's start with you, Ryan. Do you think it's now bigger, the fact that we drew with Fulham? Do you see it being a bigger game, or like, for example, do you think we can get away with getting another draw, for example?
No, we won't get away with another draw. I think, it's definitely bigger, and I think it's bigger because Bilic is gone and they've brought in Big Sam. I think that's a big one.
I think
No,
it's talking
Sheffield
about West
United.
Yeah, Sheffield
Sorry,
United.
sorry, for West.
Yeah.
I meant to say West Brom, sorry. For West Brom, they've brought in Big Sam, who has never been relegated in his life. And that is a bit of a scary concept because I have West Brom down every single day of the week. But when they've got someone as dodgy and as whatever it is with Big Sam, he's probably signed a few papers off to make sure they don't go down.
But what I would argue is, though, he's been out the game for 2 years. So his last job was in 2018 for Everton. So I would argue that, potentially he could be a little bit rusty. So it might even take him a long time to adjust. And let's just talk about quickly how harsh that was. I know basically this is very similar to Houghton being sacked. Well, in terms of the outroar and the outrage, when Houghton got sacked, everyone was like, oh, they kept you, he kept you up. How could you sack him? Blah, 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 blah. But I suppose with West Brom, I'm assuming the reason they sacked him was they didn't like the way he was, had the team set up. So, but I thought it was so harsh. Like, you just got a draw against Man City and you bloody get sacked.
But apparently the decision was made before. I spoke to a West Brom fan about it, and apparently no West Brom fan is happy about it. So the difference with us was all the Brighton fans were happy when Chris got sacked because we knew that we wanted to do something different. Whereas with them, they've got rid of a manager like Bilic, and they've brought in a manager like Big Sam, who's literally knows they're going to play hoofball for the rest of the season, probably stay up on a results basis.
They've got really creative players as well. I bet the players are gutted because you look at the likes of Pereira, and just Pereira because that's the only best player. And Diangana, they're the pretty creative players. So now that they've got Big Sam coming in and whatever style of play, imagine if he turns up and he's like, boys, I've been away for 2 years. I've been in Spain. I've done a coaching course with Pep. We're going to play tiki taka at West Brom.
Yeah,
imagine if he turns up and they play unbelievable football like that.
That's the thing. That's the thing. I think it was incredibly harsh. But anyway, let's focus back on Sheffield United.
Go back to Sheffield United.
Just also as well, just quickly, I'll just check the score. They're currently, as we're talking, it's the 27th minute. They're drawing against Man United. Yeah.
Oh, drawing. Okay, cool.
Nil.
No, 1-1.
1-0.
No, 1-0.
They've scored.
McGoldrick scored in the first 5 minutes, and then Marcus Rashford scored in the 26th minute, just equalised. So knowing that, Ben, let's say for example they get a draw tonight, they're going to go into that game with us with full of confidence. So how do you see the game going, and what do you think we need to do? Well, apart from the obvious and score goals, what do you think we need to do differently than we did against Fulham?
Well, score goals. I reckon we just need to start copying and pasting our previews for matches now because the past 4 weeks has been the same. It's been must wins. What can we do? I've been so used to the previews because they're all such tight games and such big games. It's so hard to call. And like you said, it looks like they haven't been up for any games recently because that's why they've only got 1 point. The fact that they're drawing against United, like you said, there'll be so much confidence. What can we do, mate? I've literally have no clue.
But do you know what it is?
For the third week in a row, other than score a goal, because we're so good leading up to that point. And the thing is, we just can't score a goal. That's the only issue. We've sorted the keeper situation, and that's great. That's a positive from the Fulham. I would say the draws are kind of decent result. We didn't lose, which is good. And but this is a must-win against Sheffield United. I know people don't like the must-win term, but we got to win this game.
Well, yeah. One thing I'll say is as well. Like, let's say, for example, Sheffield United, because there's still a long way to go. There's about 70 minutes to go in that game. But let's say, for example, right, they get a draw against Man United, right? What are the chances of both Fulham and Sheffield United getting a huge result? So Fulham against Liverpool and Sheffield United against Man United, to get those big results going into a game against us. Like, what is the chances of that happening? Like,
mate, we are the unluckiest team in the league. I'm not even being funny. We are so unlucky. Mate. It's ridiculous.
It's just so like
the woodwork 5 times in the game. That a penalty.
The maddest stat from last night was Fulham hadn't drawn at home 0-0 for 9 seasons, and we were
saw that too.
Like, 9
no
seasons.
Way.
Yeah,
that's
mate.
actually.
And we were like, no, we'll handle that. That's all right.
Bloody
joking.
All right. Well, yeah. I mean, and Ryan, Sheffield United, like, who are you? Because I'll be honest. Like, looking back at the pods, we don't really talk much about like the teams and the individual players. So, is it who scares you from? Who scares you from the Sheffield United team? Like, if you look at their team,
Chris Wilder.
Yeah, I'm just having a think. To be honest, I've got to be honest. I don't really take much notice of him. But Ollie Burke used to run rings around the summer for Nottingham Forest, and he was a little 18-year-old. Do you remember that Ollie Burke when he had his pace? No, he's a bit dead. Yeah. But now we've said that, he's definitely going to go score.
Yeah. To be fair, he got the assist for McGoldrick. So yeah.
Did he? So yeah, McGoldrick's a championship striker, but he scores the few goals here and there.
Yeah.
They've got a literal.
Did you mention McBurney? Or did you say?
I haven't said McBurney.
You said Burke, didn't you?
They've got a few they've got a few decent players. I love Sander Berger.
Yeah, I was going to say him.
It makes me upset to see him play there. I wish we signed him, but we've got Jacob Moda, so it's okay. But he's a bit of a worry.
He actually came off on the 12th minute, so that could be. That could be potential. That could be a potential injury doubt. Then
I never want an injury on a player, but hopefully he's out.
Who's that? Sander Berger.
Yeah. He went off on the 12th minute. Yeah.
I think it's going to be. It'll be a tough game because Sheffield United we know are very very difficult to break down. They don't concede too many, but then they also don't score many. So if we score 1 or 2,
the only positive, Ryan, is the fact that we can't finish our chances, but we actually score goals. Sheffield United literally cannot hit a barn door with a banjo.
Yeah.
We can sometimes.
They can't even create the banjo, mate.
They are they're really not creative. We are a very creative team that can't score, but they have no creation.
Their only point this season is Fulham. Fulham at home. That's their only point. That's their only point.
Derby County territory at the moment.
Literally, yeah. So
it's worse than that.
Look, I'm going to be perfectly frank. This is my take on this game. First of all, it's a must win. We have to win this game. With a team that's picked up 1 point all season, if we go away from that game, against Fulham, if we go away from that game with 1 point or none, genuinely, I'll just be like, "What's the point? Like, what? Why? Like, how is this happening?"
We'll be in big trouble.
No, because do you know what? Because you know why? Because what frustrates me is, and I'm getting angry even though the result's not even happened. But if we don't get something from that game, we're so much better than that. Like. Yeah, but it's like we know we're better than that. We know we've got a squad. We know we've got these players. We know we've got the manager. But it's just like, why can't we just win games? Newcastle and who's the other team we beat? Oh, Villa, Newcastle and Villa. Yeah, great. But it's just like we should be talking about wins against 4 or 5 teams, not just 2. Like it's just very frustrating. And going into that game, there's not many players that scare me from Sheffield United, and it's a game that we really, on our day, we will pick up 3 points. But whether it will be our day, who knows? I
tell you what, if we do lose, have you seen this video? This guy,
For the people listening, for the people listening, it's the Arsenal fan who went on a rant on social media.
He absolutely had a massive breakdown in his car. Started smashing up he's punching the chair and everything. Yeah. He was crying his eyes out. And I tell you what, that'll be me if we don't beat Sheffield United.
I'm not afraid to say I'll probably go.
I might have my first ever first ever sort of piece the camera on my social media, like on my Instagram, and just go on full
breakdown on Twitter.
Yeah. I might do it. Fuck it.
Breakdown crying session in the podcast. Yeah. Come and cry with us.
But so just to summarise then, boys, it is in our opinion, we do we have to win that game.
We've got
Otherwise,
to
win this game.
Otherwise,
Oh,
so
my
yeah, it's a
days.
big Sunday, a big huge game on Sunday, and we're all very sort of nervous but excited, so to speak.
I'll be
So,
very nervous on the day because I think it's the biggest game of our season.
yeah.
Thank
By
God it's only at
none so
12
far.
o'clock. So I'm going to try and
Is it?
sleep for as long as possible. So I'll wake up at 11:59, and then as soon as it's kickoff,
And then if the result doesn't go our way, just drink unlimited Moretti's until you forget the result.
yeah,
Although drink responsibly, we don't advocate. We don't
course
advocate that. But yeah, drink responsibly.
unless it's Moretti.
No, Ben, no.
Next name's
Right.
Sanchez.
Yeah,
yeah. Right. It's been an absolute pleasure, chaps. Of course, everyone who's listening, we hope you and watching, we hope you've enjoyed it. Of course, if you're watching on YouTube, please hit that like and comment and subscribe button because it does really mean a lot and it does help
subscribe button, Maz.
Yes,
We've made an exciting podcast out of such a dull game. I must be honest.
Yeah, exactly.
Such a bit of right considering.
So-
I was thinking we've got nothing.
Imagine if we actually win more games again. It'll be
Oh,
Yeah,
my God,
imagine
yeah.
we'll actually be happy.
It'll be amazing. So yeah, show us some love, show us some support. We really do appreciate it. And of course, we'll be back on Monday with another podcast, and we'll be reviewing the
Tuesday.
Sheffield United game. Oh, Tuesday even. There you go.
Yeah,
Cool.
Tuesday.
All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
Peace. Go on, Ryan. Give him a peace.
I did this. I don't know what that means, but yeah.
I
have a
did
nap.
Right.
this.
In a bit.